Hello, everybody. It's showtime. Hello, hello, hello. It's me, Dr. Cheryl Fraser, and it is Tuesday morning, and I am so overcome with gratitude. And I am so impressed by the astounding response to the free masterclasses, which I just completed doing four of them. The last one was on Sunday. Over 2,000 of you registered. Most of you showed up live. These classes ran 3 hours. After 2 hours, 95% of you were still there, which shows a couple of things. First of all, the longing for realistic, relatable, actionable tools that help our relationship, and your need and your longing to want information. How can I create a longer term relationship that is not suffering from the death knell? I'm not in love with you anymore, and we're kind of just hanging out for the kids, and we're in what I call marriage incorporated or relationship incorporated, where we're paying the mortgage and getting the taxes in and getting the dog to the vet and getting the kids to their events, and everybody's eating some sort of variation of vegetables now and then, and we're doing really well in the infrastructure of us, but what we are not doing is each other. I want you to think, when you were dating, who were you? Who was your partner? What do you miss about the dating phase, the falling in love phase in your relationship? I can tell you right now, you miss the excitement, you miss the fascination, those endless, long, wonderful, meandering conversations where you were so curious about your partner. They were so curious about you. You felt lit up, you felt cherished, you felt like the most important thing in their world. How is that going for you these days? Rate yourself right now: strong, medium, or weak. Maybe it's stronger for you than your partner, etc. Think about it. We need to measure where we're at now to have any real sense of how we can move to where we want to be. The second thing that we really miss about the falling in love stage was the amount of time and the amount of effort we made to carve out time to be with our partner, to cherish our partner, to plan dates. Do not roll your eyes at me. Planning dates used to be a joy. When you were falling in love or pursuing each other, you thought about impressing your partner. They thought about impressing you. You did things that were interesting, exciting. If they were bland, boring dates, there weren't a repeated amount of dates. In other words, you moved on. A lot of us really miss that. I call that thrill. And a lot of us miss, myself included, the easy, deep, relatable, horny, lovely sexual desire we had earlier on. There are some pretty sobering statistics that I like to share to help you know you're normal if you're struggling with this. Up to 35 or 40% of couples in a longer term relationship aren't making love at all. So I kicked off this live conversation with you just now saying I'm so proud of all of you who signed up for the master classes. They're over now. You missed the boat on that one, I'm afraid, till next year. But you stayed for 2 hours. 95% of you were still with me, of hundreds and hundreds of people on each of these classes after 2 hours. 80% of you were there at 2.5 hours. In the last hour, I was answering your questions, and still more than half of you were with me 3 hours later. What does that tell you? As I started to say, it tells me you want reliable information that makes sense, that's not woo-woo or silly or quick fix BS, frankly, that helps you figure out, where am I on my relationship? How are we doing with communication, conflict resolution, and more? How are we doing with what I just outlined around cherishing each other, making an effort to make each other feel special, doing what it takes to actually date your mate again? How are you doing in and out of the bedroom with sensuality, little or no sex, boring sex, what I call nipple, nipple, crotch, good night? Is it a point of contention for you? Is it something you miss from when it seemed to be easier, more passionate, and more fun? Do you argue well, or do you have repeated arguments that are so bloody painful? It's like the greatest hits of the worst of us. Do you know your way out of those? Can you stop them when they start to go haywire, damaging, ugly, or worse? Are you able to reconnect? These are teachable skills, and they're not easy. That's why I teach a 3-month immersion program, not a, I don't know, quick, 5 hours to great relationship BS again, that won't work. We need the deep and real work. So I'm delighted to say, as many of you know, because you've been following along, the doors to my 12-week Become Passion Immersion program are open right now. I'm recording this Tuesday. We're heading towards midday. The doors close in 2 days, Thursday at midnight, and we kick off together this Friday. Every year, there's a few of you who at the very last minute say, you know what? To hell with it. My relationship matters. I would love to spend, or I'm scared to spend, or I'm willing to spend, or it's scary as hell, but we need to do something to spend the next 3 months with me as your guide, going through an entire course teaching on communication skills, sexuality issues from orgasm difficulties, ejaculatory difficulties, no desire, no sex, how to cherish your partner again. And I really mean that. How well do you treat your sweetheart? Do you speak to them kindly almost all the time? If you snap at them, do you apologize? Do you catch it? Do they truly feel these days, and do you truly feel these days that you're the most important person in your partner's world? If not, we need to clean that shit up. And I'm just keeping it real. It's difficult. We get into complacent habits. We're so busy. We are busy, and we stop carving out time for each other the way we used to. If you're thinking of joining me for this amazing 3-month program, this is the only time I'll be teaching it in 2024. I usually only teach it once a year, and I'm really looking forward to meeting you all. What will happen when you join? You'll get a chance to fill out a detailed questionnaire. I'll get to know you and your relationship. Then over the 12 weeks, you get lessons, communication skills, and more. And there are 6 classes built into the program with me live. They're not on camera. I'm the only one on camera, where you send me your questions confidentially ahead of time and I will answer them. And just announced, the formal announcement's actually going out tomorrow, but I've added something very, very unique this year, which is, so many of you said, but Cheryl, I'd really love to meet you on camera with my partner and get coaching on camera. I don't see people privately anymore. Well, I see 2 a year and it's like a $20,000 package, but I don't work with couples anymore in my office or one-on-one. But what I've just added to the Become Passion program is I'm going to gift everybody who joins 6 hours, where as a small group, we'll gather on Zoom. The regular 6 classes I teach are not on Zoom. This is an additional bonus just added. Breaking news. In fact, I'm sending out the email tomorrow. So you guys are hearing this a day early. That's because you're freaking fantastic and special. So imagine you're doing the curriculum, you're learning, you're trying things on. Some of it's going well, some of it you're super struggling. Imagine coming to a small group mastermind on the couch with Dr. Cheryl class on Zoom and getting a chance, some of you that wish to do so, to come on camera with me and have me work with you for 10, 15 minutes specifically on what's going right or wrong for you. Probably wrong. The right stuff you don't need to bring to on the couch with Dr. Cheryl. So if you want to know more about the program, click below where you're watching this and you can go check out the offer page, a lot of description of the program. It's a small group program. I'll be taking around 50 or 60 couples into the entire program, and you get 3 months with me and you get lifetime access to everything. So when we wrap up at the end of July in 2024, you will still retain access to all of the material, including the recordings of the Q&As. So you can go back and continue to work on your relationship in the long term. Okay, so here's what, as per each year, you shared, the hundreds and hundreds of you that attended one of my live master classes in the last 5 days or so, they're over now. You shared low or no sexuality, or boring sex, or arguing about sex, that you bicker a lot. You're not that great at apologizing. Most of you, in the high 90% of the 1,000 or 2 of you that attended, you said, we're kind of bored with our relationship. There's not much spark. We don't make time for each other and more. So if you're thinking about the program and you're not sure, tomorrow I'm going to be offering a backstage tour. You can click below here and register for that. What is a backstage tour? I'm going to take you, my CEO, Leo, and myself are going to take you behind the scenes of the program, really show you what happens over the 3 months, what the recorded lessons look like, what the live calls with me look like, what the exercises and couples work that you get and participate in look like. So you'll get a chance to go behind the scenes tomorrow for a backstage tour, and I'll also answer your questions about the program then. So you can click below and check out the offer and just join already, and I'll see you this Friday and we'll begin together on May 3rd, or you can come to the backstage tour tomorrow and learn more about the program. Relationship's a hard gig. I'm in one. We're almost 11 years in, my second and last marriage. And we love each other a tremendous amount. We've got some pretty great skills. We do the work I share with you and the other couples in the program, but we still fall down. We still end up in some repeating arguments. But what we have is much better skills together to stop that argument when it starts spiraling, to connect and give each other space if needed, and come back to it when we're a little more reasonable and when we can maybe actually do something about the disconnect or about the issue. So, so tons of gratitude. What a privileged work I have designed and am able to do with people after over 25 years working with couples on that therapy couch to the right of me that you can't see off camera. Now my office is a full-time online studio for my podcast, for the videos I create for you all, and for the rare opportunities where I teach this 3-month immersion with you. But when I spent 25 years working, sitting in the room with you, I had a vision and I had a desire, and that was to figure out a way to help more couples in a different education and participatory model. I used to teach high school psychology. I'm a PhD clinical psychologist, a researcher in sexuality, and much, much more. And I love creating ways to educate and involve people that help them be accountable, help them do the work that is different than spending $4, $5, $6, $7,000, $10,000 on couples therapy. I adore couples therapy. It's an incredible art form. It also is out of the reach for a lot of people. They simply can't get to a therapist's office 2 to 3 to 4 times a month. Their schedules between the two of them don't allow it. It can sometimes be financially out of reach and more. And so I designed something to give you access to the sorts of couples skills and sexuality information and work for you to do with your partner. This isn't psychotherapy. It's not couples therapy per se. It's a coaching and education process that is very profound and has been very helpful for over 600 couples, including over 100 RCMP police officers in Canada and their spouses. And it's very unique, and I hope you'll join me. Check it out below. And thank you so much to all of you that worked with me live in the last week. It's been an absolute joy, and I'm so excited to be kicking off, helping you renovate your relationship one breath at a time. Bye for now.